Woody, I have more of a major league question here. The Mariners right now are batting 199 as a team. Last night was the 5th no-hitter in Major League Baseball this year. You guys are off to a really pretty good start batting average-wise. You guys are 241, 12th in Major League Baseball. Has pitching evolved way quicker than hitting with all the new stuff and analytics over the last 10 years or so?
Absolutely. It's really difficult to hit now. And I just, the more I study it and the more I've started to understand, especially on the pitching side, and obviously on the hitting side, I wouldn't say we're behind, but I just think the way that we maximize our pitchers, especially from an early age, not only from velocity, but just from a stuff standpoint, I think back in the day, we just we pitched according to the philosophy of that organization, whether that was inside, outside. If you pitch for the Braves, you're pitching away. If you pitch for the Pirates, you're pitching in. So I think nowadays we're so individualized with every one of our guys, and the stuff has improved dramatically. So we can tighten up a slider. We can look at the Rapsodo, the Edgertronic cameras to just see exactly, okay, we got to get your spin a little bit better. We got to do this a little bit better. And then that gives that guy absolute conviction when he gets on the mound. You throw this here and throw that there, nobody can touch it. And I think that's giving guys a ton of confidence. They're able to execute in kind of a bigger margin for error than maybe in the past where it was like you had to paint away. So right now it's never been harder to hit. But we got to get back to kind of playing, baseball. We got to go back to kind of, preaching, like put the ball in play, get on top of that ball. I'm not saying hit ground balls because those are outs, but get back to hitting line drives, shooting the ball over the field. Take what they give you. If they are shifting you with 2 strikes, like, can you let one get deep and hit a ground ball to the left side? Can you hit a ground ball to the right side with the second baseman standing up the middle? So there's a lot of things that are open, and we preach it obviously in our team, but to execute it is much tougher nowadays because guys aren't throwing 88 anymore. They're throwing 98 with 90-mile-an-hour sliders that are absolutely filthy.
So I know you have a lot of things to worry about rather than changing the rules of the game. But if it were to stay this way for the next few years or so and hitting is struggling to catch up to where the pitching is going, do you think lowering the mound? I know that they're talking about moving the mound back a foot in independent ball and seeing what happens there. Do you think the game could have to make an adjustment with how great pitching has become to give the hitters I don't know if more fair chance is the right word, but to maybe even out the playing field?
Yeah, I've been on different calls for this, trying to figure out what the solution is, and maybe lowering the mound. That's not as dramatic to me. I don't want to move the mound back. I think guys are going to get hurt more. I know that's been thrown around. I think guys are going to blow out like more than ever. If they're already blowing out now and they're dominating the game, can you imagine if you move the mound back and made it harder for pitchers? Like they're just going to try to even throw harder. So, I think maybe lowering the mound might be an option. I think something with the ball, obviously, which has been addressed a little bit. Maybe less homers go out of the ballpark, which forces hitters in their off-season programs and in their training programs, like every day, they get their hitting coaches. They're like, hey, I got to put the ball in play because I'm not hitting homers, and I'm no longer getting paid to hit homers because I don't hit them. I think it'll get back to a little bit of like more emphasis on contact. I think that's kind of necessary in the game right now. Otherwise, we're just going to either strike out or hit homers and walk. That's basically where we're at right now.
Woody, I'm kind of concerned about Folty's future and what Folty's doing because we kind of keyed in on this a little earlier. There seems to be a moment in the game where there's kind of a little bit of an avalanche on him, and then that happens. And I'm kind of curious how you're going to handle this. What your plans are with handling how you manage him from here on. Do you wait until that moment? Do you have a shorter hook on him? What exactly are you kind of working with Folty?
Yeah, I think it's, a lot of it's on him to, we've talked a lot, and I know he's been really open to a lot of dialogue, and, he's accepting some criticism in certain areas, especially with his stuff, trying to get his stuff more consistent, try to eliminate those, like you said, that avalanche or that snowball effect where he can't quite command it, and, he tries too hard. I think Folty's, a really high energy guy, really high strung, and, he has a hard time kind of controlling that at times. And when he feels like I have to make a pitch right here, he tries to overthrow it, and then the ball ends up leaking to the middle, or the slider kind of backs up on him, ends up over the middle of the plate, or they're just ball out of hand pitches that aren't competitive. So we got to kind of dial him in. I think it's more of a mental thing, just to kind of get him regulated, in those moments, have some breathing techniques and certain things to kind of get him back, into the moment so he can actually just execute a pitch. And not worry about trying to overthrow it. So, he's 100% on board with this, and we got to get him right. And I know a lot of our younger pitchers are dealing with the same issues at times. But Folty, his stuff is too good to have those type of innings because his stuff is really good right now.
So you got to teach him how to breathe through his eyelids, then, right?
Yeah, something watch Bull Durham, man. You never know, that might work.